this event. I don't know who was there, who I could have met.
Are you scared of
things
failure?
like that. Failure? Am I scared of it? I mean, yeah, it's I want to succeed, but I also know that failure is I don't look at it. It's the way you have to change the trajectory of how you look at things. So I don't look at it like that. Well, if I don't make it this time, then that was a clear no. That would be a yes for something else. In this industry, there's a lot of no's.
Welcome to Walking with Jordi.
Purchase your tracks today.
All right. Hi, Ceara.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm happy to have you here. This is a special episode for my models, because models, because I've started out doing photography for the past 5 years,
yes.
Models are really prominent in my audience. So the reason that I wanted to do this episode is because I think that it could bring some value to models that are getting started in their process, and to answer some common questions that models might have, to figure out whether or not it's through them, and what better way to speak on that than with the model herself. So can you introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started?
All right, so I'm Ceara. I've been modeling for 2 years. I started in the summer of 2017. Basically, I would sit up all night thinking of ways how do I become a model? So I was doing a bunch of research, and that led me to my first model competition with Blitz. I did a model competition.
When was
this? This was in 2017.
Okay.
This was my first runway. Yeah, my first runway, first anything. So I did that, and I'm like, okay, I need to work on my runway walk. So then I'm looking okay, watching all these YouTube videos, everything just starts with a bunch of research, and then that's when I discovered castings. Then I started going to more and more castings, working on my walk. I took workshops, basically all the beginner model things to do.
Yeah.
Then I started looking at agencies. I didn't know that I needed digital to submit to an agency, so I'm okay, I gotta get these proper pictures taken.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, so let's backtrack a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of kid were you?
What kind of kid?
Yeah, what was Ceara like when she was a child? Because as I'm saying that, as I'm discovering more about myself, learning about the kind of things that I like and enjoy to do, one of the things that I really enjoyed when I was younger, I started selling phone cards when phones had minutes on them at 11 years old. I liked video games that had to do with community building.
Okay.
So those online games where you could chat and build up a group and stuff like that, and as I'm rediscovering that by talking to family members, old friends and stuff, I'm realizing that more or less I'm still the same person that's rediscovering those old things from a child. So is there anything like that you can remember right now for yourself?
Okay, so when I was a kid, I was more hands-on. I like to stay in the house. I like to play with Barbie dolls. I like to take things apart and put it back together. I like to read a lot.
Okay.
Definitely like to read. So, does that relate to anything I'm doing now? Maybe because I'm still very hands-on when it comes to modeling. It's I want to see for myself. I want to do this myself. I want to learn how to work a camera. I want to learn how to, I want to learn every aspect of what I'm doing. So yeah, I think that's how that relates into this now.
Okay, so when you started out and you were doing your research and stuff like that, what were some of the early challenges that you had? Did you start with a selfie stick and you took your own pictures and stuff like that? Did you do anything like that?
So how I started, all right, so actually I was in college. I was in SUNY Westbury.
And this was around when?
I got to college in 2015.
Okay.
I started taking pictures on campus around late 2016, early 2017.
With photographers, or you just give somebody to take a picture?
So on campus, I had a friend with a professional camera, so he would go around taking pictures of me. Then when I was not on campus, I had a friend who had the latest iPhone. At the time, it was the iPhone 7 Plus. That was the latest iPhone, so we would go to locations. We would go to Highland Park, go to Brooklyn Bridge Park, walk anywhere, just have him take pictures of me, and that's when I started on 2017. That's when I started with my Instagram.
Okay.
And, this is still beginning. I have my glasses on and everything. But this is the beginning.
You wear glasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wearing contacts right now, but with my glasses on, that's when I just started putting myself out there. I learned about hashtags. I didn't know they were so important. Hashtags are important. So I learned hashtags. I just started getting attention, and I would go on Model Mayhem, and I just started getting attention. Now,
what made you go on Model Mayhem? Like, how did you find out about that? Like, you just Googled something?
Okay, I heard of Model Mayhem when I was in high school. I heard about it.
Okay.
Because I had this photographer friend who's like, oh yeah, we get our models from Model Mayhem. Like, that was Model Mayhem. Mm-hmm. So I went on there, put myself out there. Now, scams.
Oh, tell me about that part.
That was a big challenge,
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of fishy. It was kind of sketchy. It was hard to tell, the real from the fake.
You got scammed?
I didn't go all the way through because something went off. Red flags went off. They were like, oh, we're going to pay you this big amount of money, but first you have to do this and you have to do that. And I'm like, okay, that just sounds wrong.
What is this and that?
So they were like, oh, we're going to pay you this amount of money, but we're going to mail you a check.
Can
and
you
then
give us a number?
Can
you give us a number?
All right.
I think that would be useful, for context,
They'll say, okay, this job pays $1,500.
Okay.
But we're gonna mail you a check, and then you have to cash the check, and then send some of the money back to pay for wardrobe and styling.
Yeah, that happened to me before.
Models, please watch out for things like that. If it sounds fishy, it is.
Yeah, don't. If you're getting paid, you don't ever have to send anybody.
Right. If they're paying you, you're not sending them any money. That doesn't make any sense. So it's just, if you're getting paid, don't give out any information. You Google these people, look at their page, and that's another thing. I would look at their page, and their page looks sketch. Or they'll say their name is one thing, and they give me an email that's totally
different. And then your intuition kind of
yes, something's telling me just don't go through with it. I had plenty of those.
Okay.
Plenty.
So moving on from that, so you figured out your way to deal with the scams by seeing, all right, let me do a little background research, and then let me not just hit a check. Because I'm sure you probably were excited to hear that you're going to get $100.
Of course, who was it? Who wouldn't be? Of course, I was excited to hear that, but it's just things sound a little fishy. And then, of course, I had mentors I was speaking to, from my modeling workshop. I've had coaches, yes. So, I would speak to them about it, and they're like, they should never ask you for money, things like that.
Okay.
That's when I started learning about agencies and learning how agencies work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So from the point where you started taking pictures on the iPhone 7 and you discovered Model Mayhem, you started putting yourself out on Instagram, what were some other things that you did in your journey?
Other things I did? Okay, so on Eventbrite, that's where I found all these events, for
what kind of events?
Fashion week parties or mixers, networking events.
Okay,
that's
so
what they were,
would you say that you're an extroverted person or an introverted person?
I'm extroverted to an extent. If I know that Ceara, this could be something good for you, being introverted would not be good right now. That's not going to be a smart move,
Oh, you kick yourself out of gear.
Yes, because it's if you want something, you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to get it. Okay. So being introverted all the time, it has its time and its place, yes. There's a time and its place for that type of stuff.
Okay, so you have your time and place.
Yeah.
Introverted. Okay.
I have my time, I have my moments, but I know if this is necessary and it's something that could be good for me, I'm going to push myself.
So what's the process for you to even trick yourself into all right, Ceara, I need to
positive. Just be positive about it, because and then I weigh my options. I'm well, if I sit at home, I don't know what I'm missing out on at this event. I don't know who was there, who I could have met.
Are you scared of
things
failure?
Like that? Failure? Am I scared of it? It's I want to succeed, but I also know that failure is I don't look at it. You have to change the trajectory of how you look at things. So I don't look at it like that. If I don't make it this time, then that was a clear no. That would be a yes for something else. In this industry, there's a lot of no's.
Yeah, so
a lot of
no's. So that kind of leads me to my next question. So when you were, just getting, what were those early no's like? So walk me through to when did you start going to castings? Around when? Give us a time period.
So I want to say the winter of 2017. So that would be around this time, 2017. I started going to castings.
Okay, so what were those early experiences like? And how did you even find those castings?
So again, Eventbrite. So I would go on Eventbrite, NYC. I would put in a search bar NYC model casting calls, and
and what?
No, listen, this was me without the agency. This was me just by myself. Yeah. So I was just doing all my research, and I found these castings for these little local fashion shows. So these castings, they were terrifying. I was like so nervous because I'm like, okay, why? I have to go walk by myself in front of all these people, and then you got these other people watching, and it's just, it's, are they gonna pick you? Are they gonna pick me? Are they not gonna pick me? Like, did I book it? It's just very, very nerve-wracking for me. But I won't even say I got used to it because I still get a little burning sensation in my stomach, but it's not like how it was before.
Yeah, like now you probably interpreted. For instance, I was nervous in setting this up, but I interpret the sensation as, like, we're gonna get a great episode out of this instead of like I'm gonna freeze up. I don't know, like it.
Right.
Because if you look like I don't even have any questions, like lay it out, because I like to have a conversation because I think that in the conversations you can pick up on the nuances, like if you listen, because I'm sure if somebody has been paying attention so far, Eventbrite, NYC, model casting, like go search that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you start going to these castings, and it's nerve-wracking for you to go walk in front of these people. Tell me about your first casting.
Oh, yikes. My first casting.
Yes.
Okay.
You did that many?
I believe it was for, I went to a lot of castings. Yes. I believe it was for the model competition I did. I believe it was for that. So my first casting for that, it was, the coach, he was very strict. He was like very blunt and straightforward, and he's like, none of y'all in here are walking the high fashion walk that I want to see, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, like, I just felt like, damn, like, shit, like, so, my first casting, but, I was very nervous. My walk wasn't where it is now. Yeah. But looking back at that, it's just like progress. But anywho, my first casting, I was very nervous, but I did it. I got picked for the show.
Oh, and this was a fashion show, right?
It was kind of like, it was a model competition. So we had like numbers and things like that. Okay. So, and it was in a hotel, Pennsylvania, and we were just like, we're just competing. Like, we just walk in like you have to bring 3 of your own outfits. You have to model your outfits so like the best walk, this is that. Okay. So like that for me was. What was
like the purpose of the competition?
You win a magazine feature. You get submitted for the fashion show segment of the competition.
Did you get that part?
Like some money? No. So I did not win the competition. Okay. However, that did set me up to know what to look for when I go to castings, when I go to shows, and I know what to do. I took that advice. I took what I learned from that.
Okay.
And I put it.
So after you do your first casting, what are some of the things that you like? All right, next time I'm going here, I'm not leaving without this.
Well, when you go, castings are pretty quick. So it's like you go, you drop your comp card, you walk. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Interesting.
But what I always did was like, how could I stand out at these castings? So, they said the attire is all black. I'll wear all black, but I'll wear something cute, like a crop top and some tights, show my body shape or something like that. So I stand out and I just give it my strongest walk, always make my walk stronger and better. And then once I started doing that, like my upcoming castings, I would get compliments from them. Like, oh, okay, we like your walk, this, that. And I'm like, okay, that's what I look for, because what did I do differently this time that I didn't do last time, because I didn't get the same results.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. So, like,
So is it normal to, like, keep in contact with casting directors? Like, I don't know how that works because I've never been to a casting, so.
You want to. Like, if you can, because, some castings, they can be crowded, they can be crazy. You might not always get that chance, but if you do get that chance, do keep it, I do have a couple, so do keep in contact with your casting directors, They like to see your progress, Even if you didn't book that show, still, you never want things to end on a bad taste, because they might want to consider you for the next project or things like that. So.
Okay, so after you started navigating through your first year in 2017, let's fast forward to like 2018, and where you started school 2015?
Yeah, so I stopped going to school in 2017.
Okay,
yes.
Why?
So I feel like I was in school, but I was just really, 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 really bored with what I was doing. Like, I lost all interest. I was interested in it from high school up until I got to college, my second year.
I know that feeling.
I was like, this is not what I want to do. And I considered other majors. Like, I didn't just drop everything and go. Like, I considered other things. I'm like, no, nothing gave me that burning passion as modeling did. And then what made me love modeling even more is because, the lack of support I got for it. Like, oh, modeling is a waste of time. This is from family. It's a waste of time. You could be doing something better, blah, blah, blah. So I'm in school to please them when really I know I want to model so that...
I actually kind of like where this is going. I didn't expect this. So what pushed you to make the jump? Because for some people, sorry for interrupting, but some people would probably drag their feet and then finish the degree and then do what they want to do. So what made you nah, let me get out of here?
Just knowing myself, knowing that I wasn't going to drag my feet to it. I thought about that, of course. Yeah. I was like, let me just finish this. But it was just this burning sensation, and that just told me, like, listen, it's either you're going to be here dragging your feet, depressed for the next 2 years, or you're going to get out and do what's making you happy. Yeah. And I got out and I did what's making me happy, and it's been doing great for me.
So when you say doing great, what do you mean? Monetary opportunity, or you have been making traction that you can kind of see where the opportunity, let's make that a little bit practical,
Yeah, so ever since I stopped going to school and I started putting myself out more modeling, I've been getting I think I get a lot of love. I do.
Yes.
I get a lot of love. It's just like, wow, like this whole other world. Yeah. Apart from school, it was this whole other world. Always got a photo shoot, always got a show. This past February, I think I had 5 back-to-back shows, whereas the February before that, no. I was in school. Yeah. So it's just it just went from doing something that I didn't like and not getting any results from it to doing something that I love. And it's been, I constantly got something to do.
And I actually think that's very interesting too, because myself, I realized, I would say sophomore year for myself, that I just didn't really like school like that. And actually, even when I was younger, I remember in the 9th grade, I would be getting 23% on math tests. I would never get greater than 60% on math tests. And the other subjects, I didn't do that badly in, but it just wasn't really something that drove me, So I remember by the end of high school, I just I was just going to classes, I was just sitting down, I turn my back to the teachers, all of that, and I'll just be coming, and mentally, I'll be completely spaced out. Yeah. And then actually right now too, I'm kind of in that same limbo again, where I'm just not feeling this, because there's just really something, like you said, about understanding who you are and what you like, that really, when you lean into it more, I remember this June when I got out of school, and it's usually whenever I get out of school, I just go hard. In the first 2 months, from May 14 to the end of June, with all the graduation and the proms that I was doing, I made upwards of $9,000, and that was me leaning
into what you.
Fully,
into your higher purpose. That's spiritual talk, but
no, but I feel like all of us are born with certain talents that many times, because school, the reason that many of us go to school is because it was marketed to our parents as the solution. Yeah. When I'm sure, you mentioned it very briefly, you realize that life is bigger than that.
So much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than 4 years, get a degree, then you're working a retail job with a degree, And I feel once you just, I think we're born with a greater purpose, and once you really understand yourself and you really get into what you were here for, it opens so many other doors rather than being trapped in a bubble.
So you feel like modeling is coming from the soul for you?
Absolutely. There's every time I tell someone, I did a shoot, did you get paid? That's the first thing that comes out. Yeah. Not all the time. However, I just love it so much that I'm willing to put the time and the effort into creating something beautiful that's coming from me, that's joining with another mind and strive for bringing something to life. I think that's just beautiful.
And I really feel that too because
the boy is nice too, but you know.
Yeah, but that was how we met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like on that same kind of wavelength, you know, because on a typical level, we could have shot and then we could have never spoke to each other again.
Right.
Like it, and that stuff happens all the time. But I remember when I was thinking of calling you, although we only spoke one time, and you know, like I engage you because I'm always leaving comments like all the time. It just didn't. It just felt natural for me, at least. I don't know about you.
Yes, of course, of course. Like I love, being with other creatives, people who are in the same mindset. Like that all feels natural, and that's again, getting to know yourself better.
And one thing I genuinely feel is that our generation is going to redefine a lot of things. Because
if we aren't already.
Yeah, I feel like we are, but I feel like there's like certain things that have to become, I guess, more tangible, as in like really proven, because it's already been proven that you can make it off these social platforms, because I think many times many people don't really truly understand what these platforms are. It's the power of a media agency in the palm of your hands.
Yeah.
Because it's not like NBC and Fox and the New York Times where it's like a group of 4 people sitting in a room dictating what comes through the funnel. It's stuff that you put out that you can connect with anybody you want in any part of the world that you want at any time of the day that you want.
Exactly.
And one thing I've really been struggling with lately as I'm talking to more people is I've been trying to get them, and I'm also aware that people will not change and do stuff until they feel like it, but I wish that people would post more, because I find it laughable that people say that they have a business or they're trying to achieve XYZ goal and they post once every 2 weeks. That's laughable to me. Because there's no business that runs once time a day.
Yeah, right.
Oh, guys, we're open today and Monday. We'll see you.
Yeah, you're gonna.
It doesn't happen.
People forget about you quickly.
Exactly. All right, so let's jump back into your story. So let's jump to early 2018, right? In early 2018, what was happening for you around then, because you started like going to your castings in 2017 and then
2018, that's when I guess things started getting real. Like meaning like I was booking like better than what I booked last year,
in terms of you reaching out to people and them saying yes, or people reaching out to you and then
both.
Okay.
Yes, I would spend a lot of time on Instagram surfing, like looking at NYC photographers. That's how I found you. Just like surfing, surfing. Always looking like, okay, who can I collaborate with now? But make sure this person is legit. Or I'll see a dope picture on my I'll see a really cool picture on my Instagram. And I'll look at this photographer. I'm like, okay, can I see myself in that photographer's lens? It's very important to me.
Okay. Why?
Because if I don't see myself, your page tells me a story, and if I don't see my style, my brand, if I don't see that in your story, if it don't work.
Okay. So we shot this summer. I don't know. I felt like I know you longer than that, but we shot sometime this year, right? Yes.
Sometime this year,
Yeah. Sometime this year, probably like May, June-ish, right?
Yeah, summertime.
When you came to my page and you were thinking of shooting with me, what were the things that you were thinking about?
Okay.
When you saw my work?
Right. So my style, as you see, is pretty clean, simple, clear.
Yes.
That's what I look for. And then at that time, my brand, that's what I was going for. That type of look, just something clear, clean, precise.
Okay.
And that's what I saw on your page. Your work is very, very clean, very, very cut, very, it's not all over the place. It's a storyline, So, and I like that a lot.
Okay.
You know, I've been to some messy pages where I see this and I see that and I see this and I'm just like, no.
What is this and what is that?
You know, I'll see a nice shot here and then I'll see this shot here, but it's a little bit blurry.
Not
like something.
Inconsistency.
Yes, very inconsistent. It's like, you know, or it was something from last year. Now we got something from like today, and I'm just like.
Yeah.
I can't make out the story. I can't tell what's going on this page. It's like, okay, next.
All right, so you're getting traction now in early 2018 with reaching out to people and people reaching out to you. Like, what are some things that you like started doing?
Okay, so I did something that was a little off. I thought it was a fashion show, but it turned out to be like an opera show. It was really, really fun. So I was in Carnegie Hall.
Okay, I would like to.
This is like in April, I believe. I was in Carnegie Hall, and this designer, she designed our dresses, and she was also debuting her opera album. So we're standing on stage, you know, I'm standing in this beautiful dress. It was gold and black with like handcuffs on the belt, and it was really, really nice. And you know, and I
still have the dress?
No, I don't still have it. I didn't have to give it back, but like that was just a really that was like a marker for me because I'm like I'm in Carnegie Hall, and like if you I don't know if you're familiar with the actor Boris Kodjoe. He was in like multiple Medea movies. Like standing with, I took a picture with him. I'm just like,
maybe I know the face, but I'm not like name this room.
Yeah, you'll know the face. Yeah. But you know, I'm like I'm in Carnegie Hall, standing on stage, and then mind you, this was before I had my contacts. I didn't have my glasses. I was blind. So I walked plenty of runways blind until I got my contacts. Yeah. But you know, I'm just like, this is amazing at an opera show. This is high end. This is so cool. Like this is when that was like a marker. It's like, yeah, you know, things are picking up. It's only gonna go up from here. Okay. And then, you know,
how did that the opera album release?
How did that happen? Okay. So I believe was I on Instagram? I don't know if I was on Instagram or Eventbrite, but someone was looking for models. And, you know, just me putting myself out there. I was like, okay, they said, come to the casting. So I thought it was a casting, but I get there, it turned out, it was like, if you fit the dress, you're in the show. Okay. So I was like, all right, well, I fit the dress. And then, like, all right, I fit the dress. Then I showed up the day of the show, and then, like, I really didn't know what was going on. I thought it was a fashion show. I thought I was going to be walking. But now I was just standing on stage, posing, while she's saying her opera. And I'm and then, you know, all these fancy people in the crowd and all of this. And I'm just like, this is dope. Like,
okay.
All right.
Okay, so after that, like, what were some of the other things that you got, like, engaged in?
Gosh, I don't know. I feel like last year was just like a blur. It's just like a lot going on. Okay, that's when I started meeting like all these designers and creators that I'm working with now. They come from last year, you know, such as do I name names?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if they want me to put their name out there, but you know. I think that's when I met Simone and Davina. Like that's what there are two wonderful creative women, and I'm like still so thankful I ever got to work with them. But you know, it's like the quality of artists that I was working with started going up because people would look at me like, oh, she looks like a high-end model, and I'm like, okay. So, so you know, it's like not limiting myself and not doubting myself. And that's what I started pulling like more high top. People reach out to me like, hey, we're doing this project, would you like to participate? Or I do a fashion show and that same designer will reach out to me months later. Hey, I'm doing a photo shoot for my lookbook. Could you come? You know, that's where it comes from. It's like you do a lot of shows and you keep in contact with those designers and those other models, and you know, they come back to you. They come right back to you like, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? I'm like, you know.
Because I think, and let me actually give you a very tangible example. Last year, around like January time, right? I helped this girl work on a short film, like in like the latter part of 2017, like November, like late November, December. That was when we were talking about it, and I spent like 2 years learning video. So like from 2016 to now, but like. In that time period, like I knew how to do video, but like not in the context for like to do a film. Right. So I spent some time, like I learned my stuff about sound. I learned about film design, blocking, how to shoot different angles, getting cinematic music, telling a story, etc. So we shoot this film in 2018. We started out with, I don't remember the exact number, but about like 6 people, right? And then we end up working the film with like 2-3 people. And we like powered through, was a terrible experience. But we finished the film, and we had a little presentation, and we had like a little viewing party, invited the families of the actors and stuff, because we even had some union actors come in to help with the film because they really believed in the story.
That's great.
Fast forward that a year later, that's 2019, she starts doing PR work and invites me to a fashion show to do media. Now, not even...
That was the recent thing you did, right? With the suit and stuff?
No.
Okay.
But that's leading to that.
Okay. Like, let other girls know, because I know what it was like to be like in a dark space and think that you're not going to succeed or anything like that. I want girls like my age, anybody, to know that, you know, that dark space does not last forever, especially if you don't want it to. Like, it's very temporary. And, you know, if I was able to, you know, bring myself to where I am right now, just off the strength of me changing my mindset, because I was really like sad and depressed and all that. I thought I wasn't going to succeed. Like, that whole dark space, even though I turned to modeling, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this work.
Welcome to Walking with Jordi.